Hello, my name is Ken, and I want to welcome you back to Deep Waters. This podcast is brought to you by Applied Strengths Ministry, where we believe working together on our strengths is the effective working out the will and calling of God in our lives. The title of this message is Sleeping with a Dumbbell. This is a multi-episode series in which this is episode 8 of 14. Bitter is the herb that heals. I thought I would lead off with a fortune cookie type saying. So let's see what the Colossian peeps have to say. Colossians 3:19. Husbands, love your wives and do not be bitter towards them. When God says do not, it is usually because we can and will. So like above, I thought I would define the word bitter, since it is not a widely used word these days when it comes to the human treatment of others. Could you imagine? My wife left me because I treated her bitterly. Anyway, decom includes related words to bitter. Now we can define all of them, which I would recommend if you are bitter towards your wife. Or I would just tell you what the words are. Harsh, sour, acrimonious, biting, caustic, fierce, hateful, intense, rancorous, resentful, severe, stinging, vitriolic, bad, brutal, cruel, disturbing, poignant, savage, sharp. And I'll tell you one of the words that we use probably to offset some of these other behaviors is passion. Oh, I'm just passionate about it. You got to be careful. There's a fine line between passion and intense, or some of these other definitions. Okay, like I'm sure that you too want to know what the word vitriolic means. It means very caustic or scathing. So we see that bitterness towards your wife will lead to divorce. Sadly, by the time you actually see that you are very bitter towards her, it is usually after the divorce. If you want to know if you are bitter towards your wife before that event, then ask her. Or if you think she might be a bit too eager to go there, then chat with a friend. Or you can pay attention to your speech when the opportunity for you to go ballistic shows up at your front door. Ask God to show you. It's funny that when we pay attention to something, we can usually see it. If you pay attention to your bad behavior, you will in fact see it. 1 Peter 3:7. Husbands, likewise, dwell with them, with understanding, giving honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered. You mean have to be home for supper? If possible, yes. You want honor? Then you must plant the seeds of honor in her. It will help her, and yes, she is to honor you regardless, but this is where we can help her out. So back to the word understanding. My friends at DCOM define this word as meaning the following. Mental process of a person who comprehends. Comprehension. Personal interpretation. My understanding of the word does not agree with yours. Intellectual faculties. Intelligence. Mind. A quick understanding. Superior power of discernment. Enlightened intelligence. With her keen understanding, she should have become a leader. Knowledge of or familiarity with a particular thing, skill in dealing with or handling something, an understanding of accounting practice. A state of cooperative or mutual tolerant relations between people. To him, understanding and goodwill were the supreme virtues. Adjective characterized by understanding. Prompted by, based on, or demonstrating comprehension, intelligence, discernment, empathy, or the like. So wives, if you are going on this journey with your husband, then you should know that God wrote the Bible. And yes, it was through the hands of men, but not of men. 2 Timothy 3:16. I say this because some of you will get offended regarding this next topic, which is actually great because it will give you something to turn over to the Lord. The portion of the scripture that defines a wife as to the weaker vessel should be freeing to you. But in our women can do everything a man can do culture, it has become a massive battle and mental stronghold for many women. God is not underselling all that a woman is. He's just saying. So men, to put this in proper perspective, you must see that a woman is truly a work of God, in beauty and strength, willfully serving, compassionate, and elegant. The pursuit of a good one is most often the all-consuming activity of men all around the world. A woman can walk into a room and shut the mouth of every gossip in a heartbeat. You cannot and should not underestimate the graceful power of a woman. And you see, if you treat her as you would a personal garden, then she will flourish in the relationship, which is a benefit to all who come in contact with her, but especially her family. So if she shows signs of being weaker than you in an area of life where you are strong, do not judge her for it or become bitter against her. Only a fool would expect his wife to carry half of a 500-pound sack of whatever. So don't be a fool and grab the other end of the bag. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that's it for today. And no, I'm not shorting you in this episode. I just want the next episode, which will be talking about sex and intimacy, to be a separate episodic discussion. And yes, I just did that. I made up another word. Or it's an existing word that I'd never have come across in any of my researchable readings. Remember, it's not what you find wrong or disagree with regarding these messages, but what you can take away from them. Together we can do more to impact the kingdom than if we work alone. Let's flip the script and kill, steal, and destroy the work of the enemy and create space for the light of lights to shine through into people's lives. Plant a seed and click on the like and subscribe button. Let's build this ministry together. Thanks, and see you next time in Deep Waters.